Hi, it's Wayne Trammell with this week's video tip. A lot of managers struggle with getting a meeting kicked off in a way that sets the right tone and helps the meeting stay on track. Well, I'm going to turn for advice to that great leadership expert, Mary Poppins, who, if you'll recall, once said, "Well begun is half done." And it's true. If you get off to a really good start, your meeting will pretty much have its own momentum right through to the end. So here are three things that you can do to kick your meetings off. The first is to explicitly state the purpose, the agenda, and the desired outcome. Now, we might think it's obvious. We might think, well, we set the agenda earlier. But if everybody knows what's supposed to be accomplished and they've agreed to it, it gives you a set of rails to run on so that you don't get off track and waste time. Because if it's not helping you get to your purpose and outcome, it doesn't belong in the meeting. The second thing is to make sure that the team understands ground rules. How are you going to take questions? How are people expected to participate? Do you want them to use the chat or their webcams or other things? By setting the ground rules and explaining them at the beginning, you don't have to assume and then stop and explain them later. And over time, as your team works together, those rules will become just part of the way you work. But if you want people to act in a certain way, set the ground rules. And then finally, you as the meeting leader need to start strong. People make their decision about whether this is going to be a good meeting or a bad meeting in about 30 seconds or a minute. So what happens in that first 30 seconds or minute? I like to make really good notes to myself, just bullet point notes, but here's what we're going to say at the beginning of the meeting so that the first thing they hear is the meeting leader being calm, in control, and sounding like they know what they're doing. So if you'd like to be Mary Poppins and help turn around your particular team, make sure that you explicitly state the purpose, the agenda, the outcome. Set the ground rules and be explicit. This is how we will run our meeting. And thirdly, start strong. Know what you're going to say it like you mean it. That'll help you get your meeting started, and trust me, it'll help them end productively.